Come on, man. That was our first time sitting down, chopping it up, Tracy G, Heather B.
Yeah.
Way back in 2005, that man invited me into his house. I brag about it all the time.
Okay.
They had some nice ass couches, man. The furniture was impeccable. I remember this. It was incredible. the dining room table, I was like, is that cherry wood? I mean, geez. He already had it before he had it, man. He's here with us today, man, and now he's a co-worker, the one and only iconic Bun B. Bun B.
I am absolutely humbled by that introduction. Absolutely. Wow. That was, Sway, I'm going to tell you, man, that was a very, very pivotal point in my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things were uncertain to me. The only thing that was certain to me was that it was UGK for life. That was the only thing that I could count on. You know, that, my wife, and my God. That's all I had in that moment. And, you know, it was a major restructuring moment for me. And now look at life now. Look where I'm at today. I had no idea what tomorrow was going to bring then. I just had faith. And look at me now.
Wow, man. Bun B. Absolutely, man. I wouldn't have even been able to tell because your environment didn't give off that vibe. Your environment gave off a lot of love, a lot of emotional, a lot of family stability, at least in the time that we did that conversation right there. And then, and so it's good, man. Bun, you've had such an extraordinary first half, man. You ain't even at halftime yet, as far as I'm concerned. And now with this new venture, it's just the possibilities are limitless. Let's talk about this first. The Trill Show. What is the Trill Show?
All right. So, as you know, I'm a listener to Shade 45, right? I don't just call in and do interviews. I actually subscribe. I listen to shows all the time. And when LL started the Rock the Bells channel, I was very excited because I'm a part of that era. And so a lot of them are my musical contemporaries, good friends of mine, as I call some of these people my brothers, and not just people from the South, like everyone from that era, because we all toured together, we all know each other, we all get along very well, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, so I turned into the station, I listened to the shows, I heard a lot of great music on there, a lot of classic hip-hop, but I felt like there was like this void, right? And it's not like they weren't playing Southern hip-hop, but I'm like, whoever's playing the Southern hip-hop doesn't really know how deep the catalog goes. Right? Like we could do a year just on Texas. We could do 2 years on Louisiana, right? Florida, Atlanta. I mean, there were thousands of groups who contributed to the culture. And, you know, let's say 1 out of every 100 who wanted to hit it big. But that doesn't mean the other 99 didn't make it for lack of effort, right? Yeah, a lot of people that hustled very hard. They grinded very hard. They eked out a space in their area, and they were extremely important. So, while they might not have been a household name nationally, they absolutely were. They were the shit where they were, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so we want to make sure that we don't forget a lot of these people who all made great contributions to the culture. And so I was like, you know, I'd love to really do a show that focused around that, right? Just focus, you know, directly on classic Southern hip-hop music, right? Because I know a lot of the guys, I used to tour through all these very small towns. So there's groups that, you know, I'm sure people have never heard of. Some people in the South haven't heard of all these groups, much less in other areas. And so I want people that appreciate, you know, 8-Ball and MJG, UGK, Outkast, Uncle Luke, you know, Poison Clan, Ghetto Boys, you know, all of these groups, you know, Dayton Family, Hard Boys, you know, all of these groups from this era. I want them to have a place where they can go and celebrate that era and celebrate the artists that made their music. So we're not only going to play their music, we're going to allow them to come in, do interviews. You know, we want to give everybody their flowers while we can. Sway.
There you go.
You
I
know?
love it, bud. I love it.
And that's what this is. That's purely what this is. This is purely for the love of the culture.
So I'm so aligned with you because when Heather B and I first came on the air, Tracy, you know, soon afterwards, that was the goal, giving people their flowers. That's why when you hear those introductions, they were huge back. You know, when we first came on the air, man, I had a lot of wind, so them introductions could go 4 or 5 minutes. You know,
You know what?
Quarantine got me sitting down a little bit, but that's what it was all about. I'm curious, Bun. By the way, that's a great concept, and the Trill Show is premiering April 14th at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific on Rock the Bells Radio, Channel 43. You have to tell me the conversation with LL. How did that go?
I mean, it went well. It was basically what I was just saying. I was like, I think there's a great place to take advantage of this amazing catalog, huge catalog of Southern music out there, right? I could do years and years of shows like this, and but initially it was just like, I think there should be a show, right? The initial conversation was, I think there should be a show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so LO's response was like, well, you want to do it? And I was like, well, I mean, I can do it. I just want to make sure it can get done right, And I was very curious about how to make it work and make it happen, like during the pandemic. But and he was like, look, there's a couple of different options that we have, and so we chose the one particular path, and I think it's going to work. I have two amazing co-hosts with me. My brother Truck Buck is my co-host on the show, and my DJ on the show is DJ Damo. He's the Ghetto Boys DJ as well as Scarface's DJ, and he's been my DJ. And so, he's been on the road for 20, almost 30, probably, no, right? Yeah, he would probably be right at 30 years right now of just being on the road, in the culture. They've toured with the Ghetto Boys, obviously toured with everybody, the best of everybody. And so he's got great stories, but he's also got a very deep catalog of music to draw from. And Truck is obviously who he is. He's my little brother. He's really entertaining. It's good. It's a very fun show. It's a very lighthearted show. We take the Southern culture seriously, but we don't take ourselves too seriously. We like to have fun. And, that's what we want to do is celebrate everything, It's not a documentary. It's a party. The Trill Show is a party.
There you go, man. Bun B is here. He's a member of the family now, man. I could just say, I work with Bun B.
I get to tell people I work with Sway.
Oh, come on, man. I'll take that too, man. And then we both get to say we work with LL.
I love it.
There it is.
Like, really, honestly, Sway, who would have thought? Like,
bro, come on, man. L is our dude, man. Like, L, and I tell him in his face now, man, Bun. I tell him, L. Like, L for me, I say it all the time. For my personal number one personal GOAT, it's always been LL, because the impact that he's had on me. He made me want to rap. He made me bodacious. He gave me audacity, unbeknownst to him. I've always loved L's moves as a businessman, as a transition from an MC to an actor, a filmmaker, series, hosting the Grammys, all these different things he does, and he kills it. They do a great job with Rock the Bell. So congratulations on that. Bizzle, you want to jump in?
Man, listen, Bun, I'm just so happy for you. I read this and I was like, wow, it makes so much sense, because I think, too, it's also for people like me growing up in New Jersey, being so close to New York, in particular Manhattan, and listening to programmed radio, terrestrial radio, our ears got used to a certain style and a type of hip hop or rap. And it wasn't until I was a 24/7 recording artist was I able to go outside of my regional circle and appreciate hip hop from other regions. And so I think what I'm hearing you saying, your show is also going to serve as a history lesson too for a lot of us who didn't grow up appreciating the music coming from the South, who weren't familiar with a lot of groups. We'll get to know and be reintroduced to groups. And I think that it takes a certain person with a certain type of history and respect to do something like that. And you're the perfect person for it. So thank you for that, because a lot of us were not familiar.
You hit it on the head. You hit it on the head, Heather. Like, honestly, that's all it is, right? Like, I know that, I've always known, right, that if given an even playing ground and the opportunity to present ourselves in an honest and genuine way, that people would love the South. And now we fast forward 30 years later and we see a very deep appreciation for all things Southern. And so that's all I want to do is celebrate that. And then, like I said, some of the songs I'm going to play, I may play something from Houston that if you were in Georgia, it didn't get there. So you might not have ever heard that record before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I may play something from deep Florida that if you were in Oklahoma, you didn't get that record. You know, so it's going to be education, and like I said, this is not just a Southern show for Southern people, because Southern music permeates everywhere. It's all around the world. So this is a show for people who appreciate Southern culture, or even if you just want to know more about it. Like, let me turn on this, and I remember some Outkast records, and I remember, you know, UGK and Jay-Z, but what else you got, you know? They're going to find some music they've never heard before. They're going to hear a group they never heard of before. They're going to fall in love with it, and that's what it's all about. That's all we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Tracy G.
Love it. Bun, you know, for so many years now, you have been a guiding light, a mentor for so many people, like well beyond the gates of the South. And I wonder for yourself in this stage of your life, who is your mentor? Do you have that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, I tend to run everything through my pastor, right? And, you know, because and not just because he's a Christian man, he's an honorable man, but he's a worldly man. Like, he's lived a life and he understands things on a very deep level. And he understands where I'm trying to go. Like, at this point, my life is no longer about myself, right? I did good. I had a great time. But I have different priorities right now. And there's a different legacy I want to leave behind that's not just musical, you know? And so I'm trying to make certain decisions that would lend itself towards a life of service, so to speak. Yeah. And so that's kind of what this show is, right? Is giving back to a culture that gave me so much. The house I live in, the car I drive, I met my woman doing this. I've been able to, you know, give my children and my grandchildren, you know, a great life. But I don't want to just leave them publishing, and you know, I want to leave them, you know, a principled life. I want to see them, have them see me doing real things. My grandkids have seen me do music and on stage and on TV and all of that, but I want them to see me active and serving my community, putting together rallies, protests, feeding hungry people, you know, helping the homeless, underserved communities, you know, children in shelters, that kind of thing. Those are the things that I want them to remember me for. Amen. You know, because when all this is all said and done, when I'm gone, right, people will say, hey, he was a great artist, but I would really love for people to tell my grandchildren, hey, I knew your grandfather. He was a good man. You know?
Wow.
Bun B.
There it is.
There it is, man. We got people on the line wanting to talk to you, Bun. We got Tyree from PA.
I love it.
Tyree, Grand Risings, how you doing?
Hey, Ty.
Grand Risings family, Grand Risings.
Hey, man, we got Bun
B
on.
Brother?
Hey, Bun B, my man.
Yes,
you
sir.
are a legacy, bro. I love you. I love your music. Hey, I'm 56 years old. I've been hip-hop since hip-hop been hip-hop. So, like, for me to hear someone like you come on the radio to do what you're doing, this just keeps the culture rising.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. Thank you. That's the whole purpose, man. Like, I want to show people that, you know, we all gain from this, and in some form or fashion, we got to figure out how we give back to it. You know, hip-hop changed my life. I've literally traveled all over the world. I've met presidents. I've eaten dinner in palaces in France. And
we see this, bro. We see this. We see
all these places around the world.
We just want to give you your flowers.
It all came from hip-hop, man, and I'm so blessed, and I'm so happy, you know, and so I just want to give back to something that gave so much to me, you know, and because that's what this relationship has to be. In order to keep it alive, it's got to be reciprocal. We got to give hip-hop everything that it gave us, or at least some level of equivalent, so that it sustains itself. Because otherwise, other people give and take from the culture, and they sustain it, and that's not right.
Okay, Tyree, thank you for your call. You're a citizen, brother. You're a citizen.
Sway in the morning.
Let's go to Washington. We got Will from Washington. You in D.C. or you in Washington State, Will?
Hey, good morning, Grand Risers. Hey, no, Sway, I'm in Washington State. I spoke with you a few times. I'm that local soldier that's up here from the South.
Yes. How you been, bro?
Hey,
how you been?
I've been good. I've been listening to y'all every day, you know, and I appreciate what y'all do. But to my brother Bud, man, first I want to say, man, I'm still repping your brother Pimp C, man, rest in heaven where he at. And I've been rocking with y'all since day one. But I'm glad you got this platform out there. I'm just wondering, man, are you gonna take it back to when y'all first started out? Some of them underground hits that a lot of people don't know about as well from y'all.
Oh yeah, I'm probably going to go before us, right? Because I want to try to tell as much of this story as possible, right?
Yeah.
And so for a lot of people, for Houston, they don't really find out about Houston until Mind Playing Tricks on Me comes out, right?
Right.
But there's dozens of groups, literally dozens of groups who were making music in Houston and making noise in Houston, you know? And so I want to play some of that. I want to play some Street Military. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I want to play some. I want to play some Kanye.
Hey, now we
I want to
talking.
play some OG style. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I know you're gonna hit some of them old gray screw tapes.
Oh, absolutely. You know, the June 27th. You know, we got to celebrate Screw. You know, so the week of June 27th, we'll definitely have a Screw Day, and we'll kind of help explain it and walk people through that. You know, I'm not just gonna play it because some people may not know everything about it or understand it. So that's what we're going to do. We're not just going to play this music. We're going to walk people through the culture. We're going to tell stories because somewhere between the 5 people in that room, we're going to have some connection to some of these people that we're playing. So it's going to be educational. It's going to be entertainment. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's what was it? Karen said, edutainment, you know?
It's going to be edutainment. I love it, man. Hey, Will, you're a citizen, man. Thank you for rocking with us
Sway
day in, day out.
in the morning.
My man, Will. Come on, man. Bun B is here. We're talking about his new show. He is officially, he's part of the family now. The Trill Show premiering Wednesday, April 14th, 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific on Rock the Bells, Channel 43. Jason in Houston, what would you like to say?
Hey, first and foremost, I just want to say thanks, Bun B, for representing Houston and PA. We always represent you down here. I'm glad that Jay-Z put you on the map with the Big Pimpin'. Love everything you do, man. Keep it up. R.I.P. Pimp C. Just stay representing the South, man. You do a great thing for the community.
Hey, Jay, he put Jay-Z on the map.
Let him live, Sway.
Okay, let him live.
Yeah, he did put Jay-Z on the map.
He didn't mean anything by it. He was just happy about what happened after that. So I understand. I understand the sentiment. He didn't mean anything.
Oh no, I'm happy
so much, man, for calling.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we listened to you before that, you know, and then when that Big Pimpin' came out, man, it just blew up, and I'm so glad, so happy. I'm glad you represent the community. You know what I mean?
See, that's what he meant, Sway. That's why I wanted.
That's what he meant.
You know.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta sometimes you gotta let it breathe, Sway. You gotta let it breathe.
Gotta let it breathe. That's my old motto right there. Let it breathe. I know. Hey, Jay. You see me? I'm a shooter. I'm a shooter first, Bun. I just wanted you to know that, man. Hey, Jay, you a citizen, man. All right, we appreciate that. You know why I do that, Bun? Because I learned if you don't correct the truth, sometimes it goes uncorrected and things just float out there. So that's why I may have jumped. But the other thing I want to say to you is I want to commend you for your political prowess and how you've been a liaison for us of what's going on in Texas, especially in these different crises. When you talk about the power grid and everything that was happening in Texas with the power grid and electricity going out and people struggling, and you're talking about natural disasters, whether it's floods or otherwise, you've always been 10 toes down. And even in this COVID era, you know, you've been very informative. You've always been a liaison for us. You know, it's been times when you would call the show and give us updates on whatever was happening at that time. Your political aspirations, are you going to continue with that?
We're exploring different options in that area, so to speak. We're looking at forming an exploratory committee to discuss different options in that space. While I won't commit to it today, I will say that, you know, something's got to change, you know, and if you're an opportunity to be able to change things, you know, and you don't do it, then when things go bad, it's kind of your fault, you know. So if there's a way that I can help better this world and my community by public service, then I have to at least consider that, you know. I can't just outright say, no, I'm not going to do it. I have to at least consider it, you know, especially if it's the right thing to do. Because there are a lot of people around here, because this is our last mayor's term. It's our mayor's last term. And there's a lot of people that are considering trying to run for that office. And one guy in particular throws his hat in the ring, you know, it could potentially be a problem for this community. You know, this is a blue city, but in a red state. And the last thing we need right now in this current political environment is a Republican mayor of Houston. It would just literally knock this city back 30, 40 years. You know, we have a very progressive Houston. It's the most diverse city in America. There's over 100 languages spoken in this city, and a lot of people here have learned to live together, even if they see things differently. You know, we work through things, we push through things, and when things like Harvey happen, we come together as a city, regardless of race, gender, sexual identity. We all stand up and help each other as Houstonians, you know. And so we need people in leadership roles in this city that are trying to promote inclusivity instead of division, right? And so, I mean, saying all that, I mean, I have to at least consider, you know, putting myself up and getting in the fight. You know, I've been on the sidelines for a while, you know, helping to push and promote and amplify the voices of people who want those positions. But now I gotta see if I gotta get off the sidelines and get in the game, like y'all say.
Get in the game, baby.
Get in the game.
Man, you got a national.
Hey, can I say something? Can I say something about Tash?
Yes.
I would absolutely like to put him on the record. Like, I'm currently recording 2 different projects. I want to literally put him in the game. So I followed you, Tash.
Wow.
Follow me back and send me a message so we can get in contact. I actually have the perfect record I just recorded with a friend of mine, and we were like, yo, this is a very grown and sexy record. We're gonna need like a male singer that has the capacity to handle this, you know. And I absolutely think he's the guy for it. I love to have the opportunity to put him literally in the game.
There you go, citizen. You heard that. I'm sure he is. We got his information, and we'll make the connection happen. Tash Neal, he was our Get in the Game artist. And now Tash Neal is going to collaborate with the iconic Bun B.
Yo, remember, we had citizens calling up that weren't even saying get in the game. They were saying stay in the game. They took it up another notch.
They took it a whole nother notch. So make sure you send your music in, citizens, to swaygettingthegame@gmail.com. You never know, an icon like Bun B might want to collaborate with you.
Ain't that something?
Wow. Come on, we'll make that happen, Bun. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate where you are. Inspired and learning and admiring every step you take. Bun B, ladies and gentlemen. He's now a member of Sirius XM, Rock the Bells Radio, Channel 43.
Beautiful.
The Trill Show premiering Wednesday, April 14th, 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific. Bun, send my love to the family, brother.
I will. You do the same, man. God bless y'all.
God bless y'all too. Bun B, ladies and gentlemen.